Computer, yeah. All right, ladies, my lady loves, come have a seat. Let's center ourselves. Sit up tall. So even though we just had 11 inches of snow, spring is coming. I also saw my first robins of the spring. It was so exciting to see them. And because the seasons are changing, so is our body, because we are part of nature. I know for me, I've started an Ayurvedic cleanse. Ayurveda is ancient Indian medicine. And I've done this several times before. And I feel better already. And you start doing this by really looking at what you're eating. That's important. And taking care of yourself. You want to cut out caffeine for a while. I know it might include chocolate. You can cut out meat, cut out alcohol, cut out sugar, cut out gluten maybe, just for a while, and notice how you feel. Because what's happening outside is the earth and the trees and everything out there is taking in nourishment now, and it's starting to come back, and that's what we're doing too. So it's just something to think about. So sit up tall, roll your shoulder blades up towards your ears, and then just down again, down your back, lifting your heart. Notice how your body feels right at this moment. Is your low back a little pinched? Should you tip the top of your pelvis back and notice any relief in your low back? Can you sit up a little bit taller? Now close your eyes and notice your breath. Just notice it first. You breathe a shallow breath, because we're not paying attention to our thoughts, and so our more anxious thoughts will come more to our foreconsciousness than our calmer ones. And so we notice this, especially now in the spring. Now you start to deepen your breath. As you inhale, you're going to breathe in through your nose, feeling the expansiveness across your rib cage, your heart, drawing the breath up, 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 all the way up to your nose. And then keeping the length of your body nice and long, you're going to exhale through your nose, very slow, as slow as you inhale. As you inhale, imagine your thigh bones and your pelvis are planted to the earth. And like a spring flower, you're inhaling and growing up out of the earth to celebrate spring. Until you find a nice deep rhythm. Inhaling through your nose, nice and full. And exhale through your nose all the way. It's especially in the exhale that we find release, calm, peace. It's in the exhale. Take a few more breaths here. In through your nose. Out. Release any tension in your face, your lips, around your eyes. And slowly, slowly open your eyes as if you're just seeing for the first time. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up with your palms forward. And then you're going to pull your elbows down as if there's a wall behind you. And if there is a wall behind you, I'd like you to take your forearms back, your heart forward. Inhale, extend long. And exhale, pull it back down. I'm going to let Roberta in. Inhale all the way up. Big inhale. Yep. Exhale all the way back down. Remember, there's that wall behind you. And I want you to really press against that imaginary wall. In and out. And in, all the way out. Good. Take a few more just like that. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe with a little smile on your face, thinking about spring, whatever holiday you may or may not. I love to see the Easter candy in the stores. Of course, I'm not eating it right now, but still. Okay, all the way up. Inhale and exhale. And notice how you feel already. Take a few breaths here. Yeah. Self-care. Now you're going to inhale, circle your arms up, and you're going to take your palms behind your head, but they're not going to touch your head. There's a space between your hands, your palms, and your head. Your ears stay in line with your shoulders. Your shoulder blades are down your back, and your elbows are back. Okay? So you're going to inhale with your hands behind your head, and then you're going to take your arms out to a T. You're going to flip your thumbs down, and then you're going to bend your elbows and take your palms behind you, your palms away from you, behind you, but they're not touching your body. Okay, so we're going to extend again out to T. It's going to roll your shoulders, palms up, behind your head. Inhale, elbows back. Find the exhale, thumbs down, elbows bent. So your hands are a little ways away from your body. This is going to be great for your posture. Palms up and behind you. This is something different. I always like to throw in a few new things. You know me. Shoulder blades down your back. I never want you to anticipate what's happening because you know life is like that, right? So you want to just be aware, mindful. So my fingertips are not touching the back of my head. And now my knuckles are not touching my body. So my elbows are pretty far back. Yeah, we're going to just do a few just like that. Shoulder blades down your back, elbows back. Big, full breath. Yeah, it's so interesting what we do. Doesn't look like so much on the outside, but I'm hoping you're feeling it on the inside. And extend all the way up and release. Take your hands to your lap, sitting up tall, noticing the humming in your body. Yeah. Now, circle your arms all the way up and take your right hand to the earth, reaching all the way over to the right, sideways. Keep your left hip grounded. Notice your breath. Today, you're going to take your elbow behind you and squeeze the left waist. So we're getting right across the core, right? Inhale. Now, if you notice your pelvic floor, pay attention to it, are mindful to it, you can lift that muscle up, that deep muscle, engage it, strengthen it, right? Exhale. Oh, yeah. And inhale. All the way over. You can actually feel your spine lengthening. And all the way over, and all the way back to center, noticing how your left shoulder is higher than your right. I just love this. So now you're going to take your left hand to the earth and reach your right arm over, extending every space between every rib, keeping your right hip grounded. Good. And then inhale all the way over, taking your right elbow behind you. And all the way over. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Squeeze. And exhale. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And inhale. Good. Notice how things feel different when you're paying attention. And last one. All the way over. And back to center, noticing now how nice and long the side of your body is, how tall your spine. Inhale, circle your arms up. So now we're going to twist our spine. But as we do that, with a long, tall spine, We're stimulating our digestion. So come back to center. According to Ayurvedic medicine, you're only as healthy as your digestion. And no matter what you go into for the doctor to see, and with Ayurveda, you can have a rash. They start with your bathroom habits because that's telling of your digestion. It's very cool. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And all the way back to center. Now I want you to take your low ribs, the low rib cage, and imagine you're mixing up the energy around you. You're making the soil around you rich with prana, that's your breath, and just preparing yourself for spring, right? And the other direction. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, good. And back to center. And then I want you to come all the way to lying on the earth, all the way back with your knees bent to start with. Your shoulder blades walking together, the top of your pelvis tip back. So you can lift your hips and just tip the pelvis back. Good. Keeping the shoulders, the back of your shoulders into the earth. You're going to push your feet down and lift your bum. I'm going to walk my feet back just a little bit to lift the pelvic floor and wake up my glutes. So I'm going to lift and lower and lift and lower. Good. And exhale. Notice where you feel the toning naturally, which is going to be in your glutes and your core. And can you add that pelvic floor in there? Exhale and inhale. And exhale. Oh, yeah. Make sure when you go up, you stay on your shoulders. You're not on your neck. Good. And 8. We will be back here. 7, 6. Yeah, 5. Make sure you're breathing. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Now, again, we're going to come onto our tiptoes like we did yesterday and come a little higher. So if you stay on your tiptoes, you're going to start getting into your shins and your feet, which is a wonderful thing. But as you lower, you'll feel your thigh bones reaching back, releasing into your hips, and then extend. Again, you're going to lower and lift. Inhale and exhale now. Squeeze the pelvic floor. And 8. Good. 7, 6, and don't mistake slow for easy. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Now we're going to take 8 little halfway down and up. 8, 7, halfway down and up. 5, right into the pelvic floor, your core, and your glutes. 3, 2, last one. Now stay on your tiptoes and then lower your hips towards the earth. And notice how the thigh bones are going to release to the back of your hips. And then release your heels to the earth next. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. You can even lift your chest, but make sure it's coming from your core. You can extend your left leg if you like, and just roll your right ankle. Just let's get everything warmed up in our hips and our ankles. See if you can widen your toes. It's so good for your feet. Getting the gas out every day is a good idea. And release, nice and long. Take a breath. Now you can take your right foot to the earth and take your left knee in towards your chest, or you can extend your right leg long. You can lift your chest as long as it's coming from the core, not from your neck, and just roll your left ankle one way and then the other. Pressing your shin in. Imagine your leg wants to step forward, your left leg wants to extend, but you're holding it. You get a little bit more muscle energy in your left hip. Good. And release. Draw both your knees into your chest And take some knee circles here, circling your hips by circling your knees away from each other. Are you breathing? Because now it's going to get a little bit more interessante, if you remember. Good. Now, I'm going to encourage you to take your fingertips towards your ears, keep your elbows bent, and you can keep your shins parallel to the earth. Good. You're simply going to take your right knee towards your right elbow, but I want you to get into your pelvic floor and your core here. This is the purpose. And then you're going to extend and then come back. Exhale. Now, if you don't want to lift your chest, that's fine too. You can take your right hand to your right knee, and that works also to get into where you want to get into, which is the core and the pelvic floor. Okay? Yeah. And right, 8 and 7, 6, 5, so when you strengthen your core, you're also strengthening your low back. 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Come back to center. If you lifted your head, just shake your head no. Make sure there's no tension in your neck. And we're going to go right to the left side. Pelvic floor is lifted, like you don't want to go to the bathroom, like you don't want to pee. Okay. And then you're going to take your left knee to your left elbow, squeezing the core and the pelvic floor, and extend. If you want, you can keep your left knee bent. Yeah. But just notice what feels right for your edge, because it's going to be different than mine. Exhale. And I want to come back here again, so don't burn yourself out here. Exhale. Good. Notice the core, how it really draws back when you exhale here. 8, 7, and 6, 5, 4, good. 2, last. Oh yeah, and shake out your head and your neck. And roll to your right side. Yep. Come into day at the beach pose as if you're in a day at the beach, and you're going to set up your hips so that your hips are stacked. I'm on my right side. My left hip is stacked on top of my left. And you're going to extend the left leg up, pointing your foot, which is a point, and then flex your toes if it's available. Good. So we're just going to lift and lower to start with. Getting all the way into that medius. So if you remember, we got the big muscle in the back, which we're going to come back to. But I want to get this medius. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You know, we have to do things again and again and again. Last one. Now you're going to keep your leg lifted, and you're going to bend your left knee towards your chest and then extend it up. And bend and extend. And 8, 7. If you need a break, just take one, you know. 6. I hope you know. 5, 4, 3. So keep an animation in your foot to make sure your toes are bright. Either you flex or you point. 3, 2, last one. Oh yeah. Now we're going to go. We're going to combine them. Right? You're going to lift, bend, lift, and lower. And lift, and exhale. Make sure you're breathing. It doesn't have to be one breath, one movement. You can do 2 movements in a breath, but make sure your breath is calm and connected. And We're gonna do 6 more. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Oh, yummy. And all the way back to your back. Draw your knees to your chest, give yourself a hug. Good. And then just circle your knees. That'll release your left hip. And that should feel very nice. Yes. Now I want you to take your knees above your hips and your shins parallel. So my feet are not together, they're parallel. You're going to press your legs away from you. And instead of allowing your legs to press away, your legs are going to resist back. You're going to feel this right into your pelvic floor, into your belly. Take the top of your pelvis back and just take a few breaths here. Talk about not looking like anything on the outside, but there's so much power on the inside. Think about all the trees, the flowers that are preparing for spring, all that energy within. That's where we experience it, just like that. Breathing into it. Good, right into your core. If you guys didn't feel that, you didn't do it right. Tell me after class and we'll work on it. All right, now you're going to come onto your left side. You shouldn't have to turn around. I'm just turning around to look at you. And you're going to come back to Day at the Beach. Now I'm on my left side. My hips are stacked. I'm neither forward nor back. Okay. And once I have myself nice and set up, shoulders in line with my hips and my ankles, I'm going to lift my right leg and lift. Keep the engagement in your belly, mindful of your pelvic floor. Yeah, nice animated foot and toes. I'm pointing my foot, which means it's a point. And flex toes. I like to widen my toes. I'm fighting bunions. And it's going to be an arm wrestle to the end, right? Good. And I'm breathing. I'm hoping you are too. And 8, 7, yeah, 6, 5, 4, 3, good, 2, last one. Oh, and just when you think you're done, you're going to lift your right leg and bend your right knee towards your chest and extend up, right? And exhale. Good. Gravity, what a gift. It's the law of gravity. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Now we're going to put them together. Are you ready? And lift, bend your knee, extend, and lower. We're just going to do 8. Okay? Slowly. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, good, yeah, 2, and last one, yay! And all the way up and all the way back. And now you're going to come onto your belly and make your way into a child pose. So you're going to take your knees wide, your big toes together, take your hips back, lower your chest, lower your head, and just take a few breaths here. Noticing how your hips, and your belly, and your pelvic floor, right? Oh, you have a pelvic floor there. Yeah. And breathe into it. Oh, yummy. And all the way back to center. All right. Your hands are under your arms. Your knees are under your hips. Your shoulder blades are hugged together and your belly is lifted. Yeah. And that's from there, you go into cat cow. Exhale and inhale. Big flexion and extension of the spine. But because we're so aware now of our core and our pelvic floor, that when we come into the exhale, we lift not only our belly, but that muscle that we imagine we see it deep within us to give it nice strength. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Just a few more. Yeah. Last one. And you can take a few hip circles as I just my clothes here. Okay. Back to table. Now you can extend your right leg back behind you and simply tap and lift. Tap and lift. So your heart is reaching forward, your belly's back, you're not dumping your head, your gaze is slightly forward. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, but now you're going to hold it and extend your left arm forward, coming into that balance, and you really need your core here. And here, I want you to lift your right leg and your left arm. Just lift and lift, lift, lift. 8, 7, 6. Not from your hand. Your arm stays long. It comes from the back of your shoulder. 5, 4, good, good. 3, 2, hold it. Bend your right knee. So just when you're done, we just do a little bit more. You can reach for your right foot with your left hand, or you can bind. It doesn't matter, but your right foot has to stay on the right side of your body. Lift your thigh bone up, whether you're bound or not. Reach your heart forward. Take a breath. Smile. Spring is coming. Time to clean things out. Make your way to the balance. And back to table. Now you can extend your right leg out to the right. And spin your right toes out to the right, stepping into your right foot. Take your right thigh bone back. And you're going to come all the way up. Keep your right ribs reaching forward. Even take your hands to your rib cage and just roll the right rib cage forward, keeping the right thigh bone back. And you're going to come deep. But you're going to circle your arms up and come back. So imagine there's that wall behind you. Your forearms and your knuckles are against that wall. And you're going to lift. And reach back. Good. Big inhale. Yeah, yes, you can. Good. Back. Up. And even here, we're mindful of the body, of the movements and what we're doing. So it is for your core, it's for your shoulders, but it's really for your hips. A few more. Are you breathing? Good. Take those elbows back. Give those elbows, they want to meet behind your body. And then all the way up to center. Now you're going to sit back just a little bit like you're sitting in a chair. Take your hands to the earth and extend your right leg forward, flexing your front right ankle. This is a great place for blocks. That's why I always keep my blocks now around, because I want you to know you can use them. Okay, it's really great here. Now, flexing the front right ankle, you're going to widen your toes. Take the right outer hip back so that you feel it right, not only the whole back of your leg, but right into your core, the right side of your belly. Yeah. And then soften your heart just a little bit. towards your thigh bone. You're not rushing, right? You're just moving with the grooving, right? You're just moving into it, slow and steady, like a flower in the spring, just gathering all the energy from the winter rest, right? Then step into your right foot and either lift your arms up or not. Ah, there's that flower. And then all the way back. Exhale. And inhale. Oh, and exhale. And inhale. This is so delicious, I think. And all the way back. Just take a few more. Make sure they're really edgy. Go right to the edge where there's no more that you can do. So you really look at that. That's where the effort comes from, right? All the way up. Now come all the way to standing, not standing, but standing on your right foot. Take your left hand to the earth and open up that twist, rolling your left ribs to the right. Lean back, open it up. Exhale your right hand to the earth and soften your elbows. Inhale, open it up. Exhale and release. And inhale up. And exhale lower. Oh yeah, you should feel some nice stretching in your hips here. So you bend your elbows until you feel that nice stretch in your hips. And you just breathe into it, no rush. Let's take one more, just like that. Open it up. Lean back, shoulder blades are hugged together. Take your right hand to the earth. And you're gonna step onto your back left foot and lift your left knee up, lifting and lowering your hips. Now, blocks are really great here. So you can have a nice long spine, good? And you're gonna lower your left knee and extend the left inner thigh and lower and extend right from the left inner thigh as if you're trying to lengthen your inner thigh towards the ankle. And you're gonna fire up a very important part of your leg, that thin adductor muscle on the left, right? And 8, gaze forward, 7, 6, 5, 4, good. 3, 2, last one. Good. Now you're going to lengthen both your legs long and step your left foot a third of the way forward, keeping your legs long. Now, the more you press your fingertips down and your feet down, the more you can lift your belly and your pelvic floor. Notice how you can do that. So you root down and you rise up the pelvic floor and the belly. Now press your feet down and rise all the way up. So when your core is engaged, your pelvic floor is engaged, you're really steady. Now you're going to take your hands to your hips, bend your left knee and flex your front right ankle. I'm just moving so you can see. So you're going to flex your front right ankle, bend your back left knee. And then you're going to tip from the top of your pelvis and kind of circle your arms. You can circle your arms towards the earth and all the way up and back. Got it? Bend the back left knee, flex your front right ankle, belly back, and inhale all the way up, right out of the earth, right? A few more just like that. Getting into those peroneal muscles. Oh yeah. And your hips and your hamstrings. They're going to be happy about this. And soften your heart. Oh yeah. And all the way up. And then step your left foot forward beside your right, standing tall. And notice how your right side might feel a little bit tighter, stronger than your left. So let's work on that. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Grab your left wrist and lift. Exhale to the right. Come back to center on an inhale. Lift the right. Exhale to the left. No rush. Inhale back to center. Exhale and fold forward. You might want blocks under your fingertips. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale and step back to plank. I know this is not the most fun, but it's what we have to do. So this is really good for your core and your pelvic floor. Whether your knees are up or down, it doesn't matter, right? As a matter of fact, everyone put your knees to the earth. And notice how you can really press your knees down and lift the pelvic floor, lift your hips. Press your knees down, lift the pelvic floor right into your body, and lift and lift. So there's a lot more to knees down, and nothing is remedial. Everything is just a step of the way, and every step of the way is the way. So make your way, and then lower all the way down and onto your belly. I want you to stack your palms onto your forehead. Good. Walk your knees towards the earth. We didn't do the left side, I know. But I want you to get into your upper back while we're here. I want you to lift your elbows. Just lift your elbows first and see, notice how your upper back feels. Breathing into it. Now, see if you can let your hands lift up your forehead. That's going to get into your upper back. Lifting up. Take a few breaths here. And then slowly on an exhale, you're going to lower. Now, keeping the shoulder blades hugged together, take your hands to your upper ribs. So what you just did really tones up your back. And then you're going to make your way into a cobra or an up dog. Oh, yeah. And right into down dog. Just what you guys been waiting for, right? And you're going to walk your dog. Just walk it. Bending your right knee and your left. Moving your hips side to side. Lifting your belly. Nice cleansing breath. And back to table pose. Hands and knees. Make sure your hands are beneath your shoulders, your knees beneath your hips. We tend to have our knees and our hands too close together. So that's why I want you to really notice the difference. But now you're going to extend your left leg back behind you. Your heart is forward. And you're going to lift and tap. Left leg, lift and tap. Look only forward. Lift and tap. Aware now of your left glute, the left side of your core, and your pelvic floor. And squeeze. And make sure you're breathing. Good. So you feel a nice little fart. Yeah. And 8, 7, 5, 4. All right, now you're going to come into the balance, extending your right arm forward. Shoulder blades are hugged together. Now, when you lift your left leg and your right arm, it's coming from your right shoulder and the left glute. Lift and lift and lift. And notice how you need to have your core engaged, your pelvic floor engaged to really get into this, right? And 8, 7. Good. Hold it, hold it. Now you're going to bend your left knee. Just bend it. You can stay there. You can take your right hand towards your left foot. You can stay right there. You can find your foot, proprioception, and keep your left heel on the left side of your body as you lift your thigh bone up, reaching your heart forward. Find your breath, get a nice stretch in that left hamstring. Yeah, those hammies. And then this is also for the front of your thigh. Oh, this is really for the front of your thigh. Good. Oh, yeah. And all the way back to center. And through table, extending your left leg all the way out to the left. Spin your left toes out to the left. Keep your left thigh bone back. Coming all the way up. Left ribs are forward now, and left thigh bone is back. Now get into your hips. Your left hip. Yeah. Good. And circle your arms up and back. And up and back up, back, up. Oh yeah, and back. And just stay in that stretch just for a second. And back to center. Now you're going to extend your left leg in front of you. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me. Flexing the front left ankle. And this is where we use the blocks. If you want to use blocks, blocks are awesome here. Flex your left ankle. Take the left outer hip back. Soften your heart. There we go. So good. Even close your eyes and feel what it feels like on the inside. Belly back. Pelvic floor lifted. Okay? Good. And once you have all that, you're going to step into your left foot and either circle your arms up or keep your hands on the earth. And then go back and forth, however you do. But a big, slow movement. Inhale. Oh. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's take one more forward and back. Inhale. Yeah. And one more exhale, flexing your left ankle, widening the toes. Then step into your left foot so that your left knee is at 90 degrees. Take your right hand to the earth and open it up, twisting your right waist to the left. Lean back, open it up. Big inhale, and then exhale, take your hands to the earth and soften your elbows. And inhale up. And exhale back. And inhale up. And exhale. Good. Oh, yeah. Take one more just like that. Inhale. One more. Just soften your elbows. Just take an extra breath here to see if you're holding something back. You know, nature is patient. It waits at the right time. Just notice. Good. Now take your hands to the earth or to your blocks, if you like. I like blocks or not. Come onto the tiptoes of your right foot, lifting the right inner thigh. But I want you to reach your heart forward. You're going to lower your right knee and extend your right inner thigh. And lower and extend. Good. So this is going to fire up the right inner thigh, but you can still get into your belly and your core here very carefully. And 8, 7, good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And walk your hands back, shorten your stance quite a bit. Lengthen your legs, lift your belly. So you press your feet down, you press your hands down, and then lift your core, lift your belly, right? And then you can walk your hands up, your legs, you can come up halfway, to coming all the way up. Now you're going to soften your back right knee and flex your front left ankle. And then you're going to just tip forward, getting deep in the hip flexor, and then circle your arms up. So not only are you into your hip flexors, but notice your low back. Notice your shins. Notice even your left foot all the way up. Now, can you breathe into it? Exhale and inhale. And exhale. Good. And inhale. Good. And exhale. Yep. And inhale all the way up, stepping into your left foot, and step your right foot forward beside your left. Equal standing. Good. Take a breath. Now I want you to sit back into a chair and take your arms beside your ears. Sit back, arms beside your ears, and come all the way up. And sit back, and all the way up. Good. Now I want you to lift your right leg up, lifting your right knee. I'm going to do this sideways. And you're going to step your right foot back, coming right into warrior one. So you want to, I always have to make sure, we all will do, that your left knee is, your left foot's forward, is not forward of your left ankle. Your right toes are diagonal. Your left hip is back. Circle your arms all the way up, getting deep into that space, lifting your heart so your hips are ready. Your hips are ready. Can you go a little deeper? Can you come onto the tiptoes of your left foot and release your hips? Release your thigh bone a little lower. Can you scoop your bottom of your shoulder blades forward and lengthen your spine? And then take your heel back to the earth. And right into warrior two. You have to readjust your feet, making sure they're in line with each other. And deep in space. Good. Now take your feet parallel. Take your hands to your hips. Inhale. Press your pelvis down and lengthen the sides of your body. Long. Big inhale, and then slowly. I want you to come halfway forward to check in with your knees. Make sure there's a little softness in your knees. Your belly is lifted, your pelvic floor is lifted. And then on your next exhale, you can continue to fold forward. You can take your hands to a block here and breathe into that. Just take a few breaths here. Press your feet, the inner edges and the outer edges of your feet, press them down and imagine you're trying to widen the mat because they're stuck. And you get deeper into the hips, outer hips. Lift your belly. Good. Inhale, look halfway up. Now you're going to take your left hand over to the right, just a bit, just outside your right hand. And maybe you lift your right arm up, coming into a little bit of a deeper twist here. You can even take your left hand to your right shin and just get a nice stretch here. Lean back. Your feet are still trying to widen the mat. Yeah, you'll get it deep in the hips there too. Breathing into it. Exhale, release your hands back to the earth. Take your right hand outside your left. And maybe you'll lift your left arm up. Or maybe you'll take your right hand to your left shin and coax your shin in, even though your feet are trying to widen the mat. And you're feeling it in your outer hips. And your right rib cage rolls to the left. And you get a deep twist here. Oh, yeah. So good. Exhale your hands back to the earth. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, take your hands to your hips, a nice long spine. Inhale, soft knees all the way back. And then just kind of walk your feet together. Come back to the front of your mat. And just circle your hips one way. And then the other. Oh, yeah. But now we're going to do the same on the left. So you're going to lift your left knee up. I'm going to show you first, because we're going to lift up your left knee, coming into a bit of a balance. You can hold on to something always, and take your left foot back into warrior one with your right foot forward. Adjust it accordingly. In other words, you do not want your right knee past your right ankle. Your right outer hip draws back. That left inner thigh that we fired up is fired up. Circle your arms all the way up. Get a nice length. Root your feet down. Rise up like a spring crocus, right? Get deeper in your hips. Breathing into it. Outer arm bones back. Oh, yummy. Good. Now you're going to come into warrior two arms, and then you're going to pivot your feet parallel. Okay? Take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, lift your heart, and you're going to fold forward. I want you to check out, coming halfway forward. Your knees have a little softness in them. Your feet now are hugging the earth and pulling in as if they want to meet in the middle of the mat, but they can't because they're stuck. The inner edges and the outer edges of your feet are grounded, And now you're feeling it in your inner thighs into the pelvic floor. And then come forward if you want and reach your arms up over your head or towards the earth. But keep that engagement of your feet hugging in, that muscular energy from inner arch all the way up to inner thigh and into the belly and pelvic floor. And just breathe into that space. Oh, yeah. Press your feet down, coming all the way up. And then kind of walk your feet together and circle your hips. Oh, yeah. It feels delicious. All right. We're going to do one half vinyasa before we finish. All right. So you're going to come back into Utkatasana. Circle your arms all the way up. Exhale, twist to your right. Keep your left outer hip back and open your heart. Your body should be really nice and loosened up. Inhale back to center and find your twist the other way. And remember that the two sides of our body are very different. Isn't that great? Yes. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Oh, yeah. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank. You know what to do with your knees because it's going to be unique to you. And then you're going to lower. Inhale into cobra or up dog. And right back into our last down dog. Right into down dog. And just enjoy this dog. Then lower your knees to the earth. Walk your knees to the right. Come onto your hip. And extend your legs back in front of you. Extend your legs long. So we're going to do one thing here for our core. Circle your arms up. So your stick figure here. This is called stick figure pose. So your sit bones are stuck and you're trying to slide them back, and it's going to make you really long in your spine. Your thigh bones are grounded and your heels are grounded. You must have your heels on the earth or you're going to be hyperextending your knees. Okay? Now you're going to take the top of your pelvis back, engage your core, and one vertebra at a time, we're going to come all the way back to the earth. Good. That's a big inhale. Now, as you exhale, I want you to take your arms up, then your spine one vertebra at a time, draw your belly back, and come forward. One more time, all the way back, one vertebra, so the top of the pelvis is drawing back first, then your lumbar spine, then your thoracic spine. The cervical spine has a curve. Okay, all the way up with your arms. And then last one, all the way up. And come to seated. Draw your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug here. Yeah. And because this is a core pelvic floor thing, we have to do one more thing for our transverse abdominals. You can hold on to your knees. You can not. And you're simply going to reach right and left, tipping the top of the pelvis back. So you're not upright exactly. There's a little rounding in your low back. And you're going into your core, not only from the pelvic floor, right, holding on to that, but right across your core. And let's count. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Last one. Excellent. And you're going to come all the way back down. But this time you're going to take your knees with you all the way to the earth. Draw your knees in. Take your arms to T. Now I'd like to move my hips over to the left. Now lift your knees up and just drop your knees to the right, getting a nice little twist here. Close your eyes. And I want you to come to that big Ujjayi breath. Come back to center and cross your right ankle over your left thigh, opening up the right hip. Take your left knee towards your chest and just hug that left thigh bone or your left shin. Just get a big stretch here in the hips. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your outer hip that we worked on so much. Take a nice breath here. Release. Now take your feet to the earth and you're going to slide a little bit towards the right. Arms to T. Lift your knees towards your chest and drop your knees to the left. Get a nice little twist here. Close your eyes and breathe into it. Good. Make your way through center. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Left ankle over your right. Lift your right knee towards your chest. Give a nice stretch in the left hip, either holding the back of your right thigh or you can hold your right shin. You can lift your chest. You can keep your head on the earth. All those variations work. The variations are different because we're different, right? No two crocuses are exactly alike, right? So let's remember, we're here to be us every spring into our fullest, new opportunity to step into our fullest self, right? Oh, yeah. And release. Take your feet to the earth. Walk your shoulder blades together. Lift and shake out your hips. Good. Good. Take the top of your pelvis back to the earth. Take a big inhale through your nose. Inhale. Exhale through your mouth. As you take your arms beside you, palms up, your legs nice and long and wide as a mat. And we're going to take a 2-minute rest, allowing every muscle in your body. This is the most important pose of all. Just close your eyes and rest. Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms up over your head. Exhale through your mouth. Draw your knees to your chest and roll to your right side. After this rest, after this nature's rested this winter, after this wonderful work that we worked with our energy, now make your way to a seat on your mat. Bring your palms together to your heart center. Preparing ourselves for spring, cleaning out the old, and maybe finding some new habits. The light in me honors that light in you. Namaste. Mwah. Oh, I love you guys. Let me turn off the recording.